Hello, this is Nistha Vats of ICFA University, currently an intern at DLSA Deoghar. I am going to present before you the topic Standard Operating Procedure for Cases of Missing Children. It is basically the procedure that needs to be followed in case a child goes missing. It was established by the Supreme Court of India in the case Bachpan Bachao Andolan versus Union of India. The Juvenile Justice Model Rule defines a missing child as a child whose whereabouts are not known to the parents, legal guardian, or any other person or institution legally entrusted with the custody of the child, whatever may be the circumstances or causes of disappearance, and shall be considered missing and in need of care and protection until located or his safety or well-being established. It basically states that a child is considered to be missing if his whereabouts and location is not known to the parents or someone who has been legally entrusted with the custody of the child, and he's considered to be in need of protection and care if his location until his location has been established. The main objective is of this SOP is to form a sense of coordination between the people who are entrusted with the responsibility of finding that missing child. The SOP has established the definition of the missing child, traced child, and the found child. A missing child may be the one who is lost, separated from the family, has left home on his or her own without a notice, or has been abducted or kidnapped or trafficked or abandoned. Usually parents or family or guardian will file a missing complaint in such cases. It is the missing child is the one who has been lost or separated from the family. He has left the home without any notice, with or without their own will, or they have been kidnapped, abducted, or trafficked in any sense. In these cases, it is believed that the family, guardians, or the parents are the ones who file the complaint of the missing child. A traced child is the one that the police has found after the FIR that has been filed for the missing child. A found child is the one that the police finds in the public areas like streets, marketplace, hospitals, airports, railway platforms, bus stops, etc., and has or during any rescue operations or at any public place. They are brought before the JJ board or CWC. In these cases, it is called the found child. It is basically the child that has been found by the police in any of these places. Who can file the complaint? It is who are entrusted, or who all can file a complaint regarding the child that has gone missing. Firstly, it is the parent of the child, or if or a legal guardian, or a relative. CWC, Child Welfare Committee, which it is a committee that has been established to mainly for the welfare of the child. They can file a complaint for the missing child. Childline 1098. If the child goes missing, we can call on the toll-free number 1098, which is the child line. We can report a missing child on that. Or the NGOs, the police servant, or any person who is concerned with the safety or well-being of the child, who has been entrusted with the responsibility of keeping the child safe or well-being of the child. Any person who has a knowledge of the incident. If any person who comes across the fact that a child has gone missing and he has heard it from somewhere, or has got the information that a certain child has gone missing from a certain area, they can file a complaint for the missing child. Where or how to report a missing child? Where can you report a missing child? It can be reported at the police station or any subunit that has been formed for basically these purposes, or the PCR number, the 100, that is the number for the police. Any other emergency helpline number of the police, any helpline number that has been provided for contacting the police. And childline number 1098, like I said, it is a toll-free number for contacting the child line in case a child goes missing. After reporting to police, the information of missing child can be entered by any individual After logging into the track the missing child .gov.in and photograph be uploaded in the citizens corner to assist all the stakeholders to track the missing child. The child can be reported missing on the site given, and a photo needs to be uploaded so as to recognize the child. How it can be done? It can be done in person, as in you can go to the police station and file an FIR, or you can do it over the phone, or you can file a complaint through an email or through SMS or any other communication, any other means of communication that which you can use to reach the police. Any of them can be used to alert the police of about the missing child. The police needs to record all this and conduct a preliminary verification on the caller. That means the one who had reported the child missing. And verification needs to be done about him, and if the verification has been done, the FIR needs to be registered. What is the police responsibility when the child goes missing? They need to file an FIR and register the case of trafficking or abduction. They need to inform the child welfare police officer, and they need to forward the FIR to the special juvenile police unit. It is a special unit that has been formed for people who are below the age of 18, and so they can take immediate action on that case. They need to collect a recent photograph of the missing child and send it to the various institution that is entrusted with the duty of finding that child, or is involved in that kind of cases. They need to fill the form M on the portal trackthemissingchild.gov.in. They need to fill the designated missing persons information form and send it to the institutions that are related to the cases of missing child, like the district missing persons unit, missing persons squad, Central Bureau of Investigation, National Crimes Records Bureau, State Crime Records Bureau, etc. They need to send a copy of the FIR to the nearest legal service authority with the address and phone numbers of the guardians of the missing child. They need to prepare the posters for the missing child, which contains the photograph and other things that can be used to identify the child, and it needs to be enough to be distributed in the various area. They need to make sure that the hue and cry notice has been sent all around the prominent places of the area that the child has gone missing from. They need to search the areas like theaters and shopping malls, parks, etc., where the runaway child can be identified or watched. Since there are a lot of people there, a lot of public gather there, there might be a higher chance that the child can be located there. They need to scan all the CCTV recordings that are provided in the area. The details of the missing child has to be sent to the District Crimes Record Bureau of the neighboring states and state house officers of the bordering police stations, so as if the child is being transported from one place to another, or a child goes missing and they're trying to go away from the city, so the neighboring states can neighboring bordering police stations could look into that matter and check if any of these immigrations has taken place. Invoke the service of DLSA and paralegal volunteer. The DLSA needs to be alerted about these cases. Assess the level of threat or danger to the child or his or her family, and take immediate steps to ensure their protection. They need to assess if the child is in any kind of danger or threat, or their family is in any kind of danger, or there are possible or any possible danger, and in case they are in one, they need to be provided with the protection in case, so that nothing happens to them. inform immigration authorities, border security force, railways and other authorities, provincial, territorial and other agencies and NGOs which could help recovering or rescuing the missing child. Risk assessment. The risk assessment form should be filled by the SHO officer in charge to determine what is the urgency of the case, what are the areas of inquiry in such cases, the types of specialist knowledge that might be needed in finding that child, the supervision that may be required, agencies which may be first alerted. The risk assessment form has to be filled by the SHO or any officer who is given the charge of the case, so that they can determine how urgent that case is, or what are the areas where inquiry needs to be made, or if the case requires any specialist with a special kind of knowledge in that case, or if any supervision is needed in that case, or any agency, any institution that has to be informed first, so that they can alert them as fast as possible. Organized crime perspective. Organized crime means a crime that has been planned out thoroughly, or planned through and through, so as to commit a very planned out crime, where a child cannot be traced within a period of 4 months. The investigation has to be transferred to the anti-human trafficking unit in the district, and they have to report to DLSA every 3 months regarding what are the progress that has been made on that case. Steps that are needed to be taken when a child is found or recovered. The steps that are needed to be taken by the police are that the missing child has to be produced before the CWC, that is the Child Welfare Committee, and the JJ board, that is the Juvenile Justice Board, or the Children's Court. The child should be examined by a team of medical experts, including psychosocial experts, in order to make sure that the child is safe and hasn't gotten hurt in any kind. They need to be examined by the doctors or medical experts for injuries, both mentally and physically. Proper home verification has to be carried out before the child is reunited with the parent or legal guardian. The recovery form R on the track child portal has to be filled so as to make it known that the child has been recovered. A report has to be sent to DLSA, so they can provide counseling to the child and his or her family. They need to conduct an inquiry whether the child has gone under any other offense in this act or any other act, by the supervising officer. The supervisory officer needs to ensure that the procedures that have been established in this SOP is being strictly followed. They also need to closely monitor and facilitate the investigation of each case of missing child, and they need to review periodically what is the status of each of these cases and ensure that the quality of the investigation is up to par, or they are doing the investigation properly. Once the child is found, the supervisory officer should ensure that the proper follow-up action are taken by the police. They need to make sure that after the child has been found, the police are taking the proper action that is needed to be taken in order to provide the child with protection and to find in case of abduction, kidnapping, etc., the person who has done that is found. The supervisory officer should ensure reward or punishment system are in place. They need to ensure that full cooperation is given, and all the institutions are cooperating with each other, and all the grievances or issues are being addressed. What are the steps that CWC, the Child Welfare Committee, needs to take? When a missing child is found or recovered, and or a child is in conflict with law, is found to be missing child by the JGB or the police, he shall also be produced before the committee, as the case may be, for appropriate direction. When a child that has been recovered or found, that is also a child who is in conflict with law, it means that the child who is a juvenile, a, a, a child who has committed a crime in any of the uh, acts given in by the government, or any of the laws enacted by the government. In these cases, the missing child has to be produced before the CWC. In case FIR is not registered in case of missing or trafficked child, they need to immediately forward the complaint to the Juvenile Justice Board, who will redirect the police to register the FIR for such child. Any three members of the committee can take the any case of the missing child on their own and report to the police or the AHTU immediately, and initiate process of providing care and protection to the child. They need to assess the needs of the child and pass orders with respect to repatriating the child or placing the child in a fit facility or with a fit person, or declare free for adoption or foster care, or any other arrangement by following due process of law, keeping in mind the best interest of the child. They need to engage the service of DCPU or DLSA, so that a smooth and effective rehabilitation of the child is made sure. They need to make sure that the case has been linked to the DLSA. They need to make sure if the child needs any special medical care, and if they do, they need to be sent to the appropriate medical institution where they provide the treatment for such kind of injury. In the absence of any adequate proof of age, they need to send the child for the age determination test, and the results have to be obtained immediately after the test results have been concluded. The child during the time the result is being obtained, the child can be placed in a fit facility. They need to pass orders for recovery of back wages of the child, and in case of the found or recovered child was trafficked, for forced or bonded labor. Direct PO, police, CWO, Childline, DCPO, other organization for necessary action and follow-up. Perform all duties specified under Section 30 of Juvenile Justice Act 2015. What are the steps that is needed to be taken by the Juvenile Justice Board? If any found or traced child is produced before the JJ Board as a child in conflict with law, such child should immediately be redirected to the relevant Child Welfare Committee after due inquiry for initiating the process of rehabilitation. If the traced or found child is found to be someone who is in conflict with law, the JJ Board has to send that child to the CWC so that they can take care of the child's future rehabilitation. In case FIR is not registered, they need to immediately direct the police to register the FIR. Ensure availability of free legal aid for the child through the DLSA. The DLSA provides free legal aid to the child and his family. Create an individual care plan as per the JJ Act 2015 and the rules therein for each child, including follow-up by the probation officer, the district child protection unit, or a member of non-governmental organization. Lastly, the digitalization of the missing children's record is important, as every day the missing child's reports are growing in number. Keeping them as in a paper file can be a little bulky and can be set aside, collecting dust in the office. So it is important that we digitalize these records so as to easy access to these type of files throughout the country. The SOPs have been established, so there can be a sense of coordination between the institutions that are involved in taking care of the child and finding the missing child, tracing the missing child, so as to when they find them and they trace them, they can be reunited with the family that they belong to. Thank you.